All right, guys, here's phase 7, Friday's program. We're doing 25 seconds of work, 20 seconds rest. It's a straight set, so we're working on strength. We are still focusing on unilateral this month, so there's going to be a little unilateral work on this one. Nick's going to go ahead and start the workout.
All right, so first thing that we're going to have is going to be overhead weighted lunges. So this one, they can probably go pretty heavy, probably starting off 10, 15, maybe 20, and possibly heavier if people can go a little heavier overhead. So don't be afraid to go heavy, but they probably can't go super heavy on this one. So what they're going to do, they're going to start under here, right over by the wall, have the weight up overhead, all the way up. Then just walking, getting all the way down there, alternating legs, just walking towards the turf. When they get to the turf, we're going to turn around, come back, go the other way. They're just going to be doing this continuously for 25 seconds, and then we want to going back and forth continuously the whole time for the 25 seconds. Again, just make sure they're all the way overhead. We don't want the plate forward or arching their back, and then just make sure on the lunges they get all the way down, staying tall, and then avoid wobbling from side to side. Now, if there's someone that has trouble going overhead, we can do this holding the plate by their chest. So same thing, just holding in their chest here. Again, this would just be only if people can't go overhead, but everything else is the same, getting all the way down there with that knee. And then if there is someone that has real bad knee issues, you can do a supported split squat or lunge. So what they're going to do for that, come over by the rack here, they can hold on to this. They could do supported lunges, so if they can, like this. Otherwise, if they can't step at all or anything, we can just do a split squat. So that would be just going up and down. Again, this would be for people with knee issues, things like that. Otherwise, we want them to be doing the walking lunges over here. All right, so that's the first one. The second one is going to be dumbbell kickstand RDL. So for this, they're going to have dumbbells, one dumbbell in each hand. They're going to have 1 foot forward, 1 foot a little bit behind it. We don't want it super far back. We want it right about a little bit behind the other foot. Then, what they're doing, they're just kind of like a regular RDL, coming the back flat, shoulders pinch back, driving those hips back, going down, back up, nice and tall. Hips back, right about to their knee, a little below it, up, nice and tall. So it's almost like a single leg deadlift. It's a little bit different, but because there's a kickstand, but same thing. They want to keep the back flat and then get those weights. Same thing right below the knee on this one. And then we are switching sides each round over here. We can encourage you to try to go heavy since we're going for strength, especially on this one since it is supported with the back foot. People should be able to go a little bit heavier, challenge themselves over here on this one. All right, next one you're going to have is going to be, you're going to have battle ropes. So this one we're going to have this one outside. I'm not going to demo it for you guys, but what I want for this one, show a few versions, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 different versions of the ropes, and then just have them alternate each round. So I'm going to do one round, a different one the next round so that they aren't wearing out the same pattern over and over the whole time. So it is 25 seconds, so it's not a ton of work on the pattern, but just show a few versions and have them alternate different ones. Again, this is going to be outside. The few coaching tips you want for this one, you want there to be some slack in the ropes, so have them walk forward in the ropes, and then have their knees slightly bent a little bit of an athletic position when they're starting this one. But those are just a few things to keep in mind when you're coaching this one up to the clients. The modification we have for this one, if they cannot go outside, if the weather is bad, we're going to have them do cardio climbers. So they'll be right over here. Pretty simple. They're just going to be going like this, hands in the plate position, just alternating the legs. This would be if we can't go outside again, if the weather is bad, if it's raining or something like that, we can't put the ropes outside. Otherwise, we'll have them be doing ropes. All right, so next one, we're going to have band rotations. So we should have red and black bands over here. What we're going to do for this one, we want our feet to be square facing either that way or this way. Then we're going to grab the outside hand here and get some tension on the band. You want a little bit of a diagonal, so not all the way back here like this, a little bit out with some tension. Then what we're doing, keeping the feet flat the whole time and keeping those hips square. We're turning, moving the band out here and back. Out, to the side, and back. So the most important thing with this is really keeping it under control. Everything that I'll explain is about keeping it under control. So we don't want to be turning those hips. We want to keep the hips forward and just turning those arms using our core and those shoulders. We also want to make sure they're not lifting up the back foot. So we don't want them lifting the back heel. We want to keep both feet planted and just turning out the whole way. And then just going slow. We don't want them to be going like this. You want it slow the whole way. So under control, out to the side, and then back in. And then this one, we are switching sides each round. So they're going to do one arm facing one way. The next round, switch over, be facing the other way on that one. All right, so this is the fourth one, and the last one is going to be over here. We are going to have, what do we have over here?
Seated high row.
Yes, we have seated high rows over here. So, so this one they're going to be sitting on the ground, right a little bit away from the bar. We don't want them to be right under it. We have our feet flat, and then we're going to be sitting right on the ground. We want to start with some tension on the band. If they're sitting, there should be tension on the band. But then you're just pulling the band, staying nice and keeping the back flat. You're just pulling it down, back up, down, and back up. A couple things, we want to make sure we're not going out with our elbows. So we want to keep those elbows relatively tight. So right here, keep the elbows nice and tight, right in like this. And then we also want to make sure that when they pull it, they're not leaning to pull it. We don't want them using their body, weighing it down to pull it. So we want to keep those body nice and tall, just bending those arms down and up when they're pulling this way. So we don't have any modifications. Since there are 4 rounds in a row, we want everyone to try to get seated or sitting on the ground. If there is someone that cannot get on the ground at all, we can do this standing, but pretty much everyone should be able to do this. And since it is 4 rounds in a row, they won't have to get up and down. So they should be able to do it seated. But modification, if you do have someone for some reason that can't get on the ground at all, they can do standing. So it's the same thing, just in out like this. Same thing, staying tall, keeping those elbows tight. But again, this would only be if there's a rare case someone that can't get on the ground at all. Most people should be able to be seated, especially since the 4 rounds are right in a row for this one. All right, so for the finisher today, what we're gonna have 3 2-minute AMRAPs. So it's gonna be a series of 6 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and 2 minutes, and then 3 exercises that we'll have within each 2 minutes. So 3 exercises for the first 2 minutes. We'll do 21 reps of each. So 21 of the first, 21 of the second, 21 of the third, and then we're just going to go through as many times as they can. Within the 2 minutes, they probably won't be able to finish. If they do finish, they go back to the first exercise and do it again. But most people within 2 minutes probably won't be able to get through that more than once. So the first 2 minutes, they do 21 reps of each. Then the second 2 minutes, they do 15 reps of each. With that one, they'll be burned out a little bit more, but there's less reps, so they should be able to get through it a couple times within that, since it is only 15 reps. And then the third minute, or the third 2 minutes, they're doing it 9 reps. So 9 reps, they're more burned out, but they will be able to get through it a few more times since it is only 9 reps. So 21 reps of each the first 2 minutes, 15 the second 2 minutes, and then 9 the third 2 minutes. And then once they're done, so it'll be 6 minutes total in that. So I'll go to explain the exercises to you guys. The first one we're going to have is going to be lying banded chest press. So for this one, they're going to be on their back, on the ground. We want to make sure the band is around our back and then underneath our arms. So we don't want it around like this. Then it comes off really easily. Could hit them in the head. So we want it underneath our arms like this. And we're going to be on the ground on our back. We want our feet flat and then knees bent, keeping that back pressing the ground the whole time. Then there's pressing up and down, just like this. We will have some different strengths of bands to challenge them, but just pressing all the way up and back down on this one. All right, so 21 of these for the first minute. Then the next exercise that we'll have, so the second one, is going to be Jacknives. So for that, we're going to be on the ground like this. Then we're sitting up, kind of like a crunch, but we're getting all the way up here, all the way up like this, back down, all the way up, back down. So they're almost going up, sitting on their butt, and then going all the way back down. On their butt, back down. So they didn't do it quick, getting all the way up on their butt. Some people will have difficulty with it. It's a pretty tough movement. So the modification we have for that is dead bugs. 2 versions of these. We can do full dead bugs, so knees bent, arms bent, going out, back in, just like this, getting those legs and arms close to the ground. And then alternating dead bugs is a little bit easier. So opposite arm and leg, going out, just like this, alternating. This would be a little bit easier for people who have trouble getting in that position. One thing we do want to make sure on this one is if they're doing the dead bugs, we want to make sure they're not like doing it in between jackknife and dead bugs. So some people on dead bugs, they might be going out and then going like this. We don't want them to be doing that. We want them either being under control, so either a dead bug under control, or if they're going to do a jackknife, we want them getting all the way up on these. All right, so make sure there's dead bugs are being kept under control the whole time. Then the third exercise is going to be hollow snaps. So these are pretty simple. Everyone should be able to do them. Arms and legs nice and long. Then snapping the legs and arms up, and then back down. So up, just like this. So round to get their arms and legs a little bit off the ground, but not super high. So they don't need to go up like that. We just want them a little bit off the ground, up and down like this. So we'll do 21 of those of each one. So 21 chest press, 21 jackknives, 21 hollow snaps. As many as I can, probably only one in the first 2 minutes. The second 2 minutes, there are 15 of each, as many rounds as they can. And then the third 2 minutes is 9 of each, as many rounds as they can. And that's what we have today for the finisher.